Charles Officer is here. He's an Emmy Award-winning director, and he is also the man who put together Stone Thrower, the Chuck Ealey Story, which is coming up on TSN next week. It's part of an excellent series, as you well know, Charles, and welcome to the show. I'm
Thank you
happy
very
to have
much.
you here.
Thank you.
It's part of an excellent, 8-part series.
Yes.
Coming up, leading up to the 100th edition of the Grey Cup.
That's right.
Celebrating the CFL and football in this country. But more than that, these documentaries are designed to celebrate people.
Absolutely.
And had a chance to see yours last night. First of all, congratulations. Man.
Thank you very much.
I love the documentary. I especially love sports documentaries. And I was enthralled last night. And the fact that Chuck Ealey was in the room made it just that much better.
Yeah.
Tell me about this journey, because it's about football in a way, but this is about Chuck Ealey, and it's also about his family and his daughter in particular.
Absolutely. His daughter just serendipitously just lined up that when this project came to fruition, his daughter, Jael Ealey Richardson, she was working on a book about her father. And that, when I saw the two of them together, I thought, you know, here's a sports story, but how often do we get to see a female kind of incorporated in there, and a father-daughter story, and it just spoke to Gordon Henderson, who's executive producer at 90th Parallel, and myself. We're like, this is the way that we've got to approach this and take them on a road trip together.
Yeah. I love that concept, because you took Chuck and his daughter back to where he came from.
Yes.
And it wasn't a very happy place.
No, it wasn't. And she's now a grown woman. When she was younger, I mean, she never had an opportunity to see him play.
No.
You know, so going back there and she grew up here in Canada. Yeah. So for her to go back there and to trace those roots of his journey, it was really emotional. It was amazing.
I found it, from what I saw, from what we saw in the documentary, that was particularly emotional for Chuck himself, who, as it turns out, kept a lot of what happened to him to himself.
Absolutely, and like he mentions in the film, also last night, is that he really made an effort to protect his family with, keeping even stories that were a little harmful or a little bit hard to talk about. Yeah. He wanted to protect his children and give them the environment to prosper. It's
a great story about Chuck and his family, and the journey they've been on, and the one they're on right now. But it also has, racial roots to it, because Chuck Ealey, for those who don't know, was an undefeated quarterback in high school and university, yet never got drafted in the NFL, and was basically told he would never play quarterback.
Yeah, and we've got to really clock that, and specifically around that time, 1972. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. No. Let's really break it down, and there weren't any black quarterbacks in the National Football League.
Right.
And if it wasn't for the CFL, I mean, we wouldn't have Warren Moon. We wouldn't have. I even would go as far as saying, the Michael Vicks and the guys that are in the NFL today. If Chuck hadn't come, and everyone loves a winner. If he had come and did okay his first season, he would have trickled. People would have been whatever. But he came in as a rookie, his first season in the CFL.
And won the Grey Cup.
Won the Grey Cup, won Rookie of the Year, and continued this. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah. As Brian Williams pointed out last night, and as Chuck and his daughter certainly elaborated on after we saw the film, this is also the story of this wonderful country that we live in, and what we have to offer to people from all over the planet.
Absolutely. I mean, it's, we've had draft dodgers come here. We've had musicians. We've had we've had all these, athletes have to come to Canada for an opportunity. And the cool thing about it that Chuck mentioned also in the process of making the film, where he's from, Portsmouth, Ohio, was a route for the Underground Railroad that he didn't know about when he was coming up as a kid. When we were making this film, I asked him this question. I said, have you clocked that your journey is very similar to the American free slaves who had to come to Canada for an opportunity? And he's like, yeah, actually, I didn't really realize that. Yeah. And so there's that parallel in itself, historically, how Canada is this place.
As a director and a filmmaker, it must be so interesting for you to take people on a journey. And I'm talking about Chuck and his daughter, and then everybody else who watches it, right?
Yes.
Because you actually took them to a place that they had never been as father and daughter before.
Absolutely, and it's and I want I want people to go along in that journey as well, and that's the challenge and the beauty of making cinema and trying to tell a story cinematically, and so I hope that this series is TSN for coming through and putting
Bell
this together.
Media
Bell
for
Media
backing this whole thing,
and the whole CFL
Man.
league. It's the support on this. I just got to say that no broadcaster has ever done something like this in this country.
It's never happened this way, and we're very proud of that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Charles Officer's documentary Stone Thrower, the Chuck Ealey Story, actually premieres on Friday night at 10:30. You want to either watch these or PVR them or do whatever you do to get to see them, because I'm going to see all 8. The series of 8 documentaries actually starts on Thanksgiving Monday.
That's right.
With The 13th Man, which I believe is about Saskatchewan Rough Rider
Oh man,
fans.
a film by
I can't wait to see
that.
this.
Was going to be awesome. A great filmmaker who I'm really close with, Larry Weinstein, has done this film, and I know he's done a fantastic job with this, and it's going to kick off the series strong.
There's even a couple of ladies, women directors,
Shelley Saywell
filmmakers.
and Christy Callan Jones, and there's some great filmmakers involved in this.
Congratulations!
I so appreciate you having
so
me.
good.
Thank you so much.
Don't miss it. Whatever you do, don't miss this documentary and this documentary series.